Righty then, what's going on, everyone? Good evening. Cheers for tuning in and joining us. Having this little setup back in the loft, honestly, it feels like rolling back the years, just being in it and doing content up in the loft. But I quite like the relaxed sort of nature and vibe of them. If we like doing these, we might start doing some more of these on a bit more of a regular basis. You guys let me know what you think. Right, so I'm going to do basically almost a bit of a Q&A. Any topic that we want to talk about, whether that's United, whether that's anything else, get your questions in and I'll try and work my way through some of those. We are going to be talking about Boubacar Kamara. And I might not end up having a title on some of these as we go forward, but I do want to talk a little bit about Boubacar Kamara. I like him. I actually think when you're talking about having someone like John McGinn or Zakaria coming in, neither of them do I see being able to get to that next level and really elevate United in a big way. But Boubacar Kamara, I actually do. So I've been watching this one with a little bit of interest. And Craig Hope, Daily Mail, it is what it is. But Craig Hope, Daily Mail, says that United, Villa and Leeds have all spoken to Kamara's agent. Normally, when you see three clubs involved, if one of them's United aren't involved. That's we saw this with Richarlison when he was first coming over. It was like United, Chelsea, Watford. You're like, so he's going Watford then, yeah? Is that the move? And he ended up going Watford. Colour me shocked. So when you see a few clubs involved, he's probably going one of them. Now, looking at that, I would think Leeds and Villa could be really in for him. He's probably on United's radar like every other player in the world. I just don't see how United are going to be doing this when there's no one really talking about whether or not he's going to be coming in for United specifically. It seems to be United names lumped in the mixer for clicks and for interaction. And I've just fell for it because I'm fucking talking about it. The problem is, it's easy to fall for it because you kind of want it to be true, because he is a player that does actually elevate United. And for 10 million, you're like, Jesus, why wouldn't you do it? Now, the problem is, it sounds like this guy wants to move in the summer and doesn't actually want to move in January, which things can change in a heartbeat. Moves happen in the next 5 minutes, can't they? And that's the issue, is that something can be true. You can hear something, someone can report something, and then something different happens, and obviously sends it the opposite way 5 seconds later, which is annoying, and it makes it difficult trying to keep track of everything that's going on. For me, Kamara would be an absolute no-brainer. Unfortunately, doesn't look like we've got any brains. So it looks like, if I had to guess what was going on, I think United will get rid of a few. And if I had to start guessing at who I think those few could be, Dean Henderson, Jesse Lingard, Tony Marshall. Those would be the three that I would say, if anyone's going, those are the three by the end of the week. Or by Monday, I guess. Some of them are going to be more difficult. Sounds like Tony Marshall's very close to joining Sevilla. Jesse Lingard seems very close to joining Newcastle. I think both of those deals could be done, possibly even by the time we come off air. But I think both of those deals are deals that could get done. And then Dean Henderson, I think he wants to leave. The talk is that he wants to leave, but where does he go? And where's going to pay him what United are paying him? You're talking, top 10 goalkeeper in the world money, which someone at the club fucking sanctioned, without him necessarily being top 10 goalkeeper in the world. Right, I'm going to dive into some of these comments. DB Cooper says, Mr. Howson, can you tell me how they lifted 70-ton granite stones into the Great Pyramid? No, I can't. Looks a bit mad, doesn't it, how they did all that shit. G says, Steve, could you bring back the old backdrop with the newspapers back in the 2016 days? Probably not. I have. Oh, it's not here actually. Did you all see the drawing that my wife got done for me for Christmas? It's a night vision. I'm going to try and put it up on camera here, but it's probably not going to come across very well. It's a night vision shot from Afghanistan. Because I've obviously only just started using up here. I actually want to box it off a little bit better. So I'm going to try and see if that shows up on the camera. Can you all see that? So that's a drawing. One of the girls that was on the rundown actually drew for me for Christmas. So I'm going to stick that on the wall behind us. And I'm going to put a couple of military stuff there as well. I've got a bayonet. I've got my dog tags and things like that. And obviously, I've put the Rashford one up for now, just so it's not a grey wall behind me. But I'm going to put a load of military stuff up here behind us for doing these at home on a more regular basis, I think. Is Bay going? Bay could be another one I think that would go. But where? There was some talk of AC Milan, some talk of him going there on loan. Could see that one happening. Do I think we will buy anyone in the final week, or is everyone going to come in the summer? I don't think we're going to buy anyone. I think maybe if you got 4 players off the books, it's possible. But the word I was getting was unless it's like a long-term target. Think about this sort of phrase. Unless it's a long-term young target. So the club's obviously got targets they're working on, regardless of who the manager is. Letting Ralph sign someone so we could actually achieve something this window is far too ambitious, isn't it, for our board, unfortunately. Ben says, Steve, loving the content currently. If you was given 100 million to spend in the summer for United, which player/players would you bring in? I like the idea of what I said the other night, might have even been last night, talking about bringing in Neves and Tielemans. I think you could probably get both of those, and I think you level the squad up for doing that. Rafinha or Bowen would both be upgrades. I don't think we're going to bring in another right winger for now. I think it'll be a minute. Do I see Rangnick emphasising someone like Howson, Roger Schmidt over the bigger names? Interesting, this one, isn't it? So on the Paddock podcast, we kind of said today, if I look at the 4 candidates that have kind of been leaked by The Athletic, and I got no reason to doubt David Ornstein's very reliable journalist. If David Ornstein's saying these are the 4 names, those are the 4 names as far as I'm concerned. I'll take that as gospel. None of those 4 names scream Ralph Rangnick's input to me. They all scream Murta and Fletcher, if anything. So what's the emphasis here from Rangnick's input? Is that going to be his input, or is he going to have input into other areas of the club? I had an interesting conversation with someone today. Former player, won the Champions League with us. It's not Rio. I did have a conversation with Rio, but it wasn't that. It was a defender, though. A fullback. And was speaking to him about player routines and what's going on. And it sounds like Rangnick's changed quite a lot. Some of the moaning that you see in the press, there's something to it. People trying to guess in the comments. I promise you, if one of you gets it, I'll tell you, but you will not get it. You will definitely not get it. Talking about the changing of the routines at Old Trafford and how a lot of the players players love routine, don't they? Start at 9, 10, whatever it is. But under Rangnick, they've actually had different start times. They've gone from 11 on the pitch, 2:30 on the pitch, for all these different sorts of things. And he was saying it doesn't sound like Rangnick's been able to bring in the people that he wanted. So he thinks that the buy-in's not been great, and there's been a little bit of moaning going on about that. Someone's got it. It was a disgrace, the martial treatment from the fans, also the abuse on Pogba on social media. Yeah, I agree with the abuse. I mean, the booing in the stadium, I've said that a few times. It's not something that I would ever condone. I don't like that. I didn't boo Michael Owen, so if I'm not booing Michael Owen, I'm not booing anyone. Because he deserved fucking booing, if we're being honest with ourselves. Get the number 7 shirt. I think Pogba putting up about visiting Hajj and having to take it down for racist abuse is fucking disgusting. And it's an absolute shame that he can't. I'm not religious. I think it's all a load of bollocks. But I wouldn't fucking attack anyone for it. You know, it's insane to think that he can't. What's a positive message really? Putting it up and watching, just fucking, and making him take it down. And probably from people who think that they identify themselves. They're not United fans, but people who identify them fucking selves as it. Why does Joe pull off wearing denim so well? I'm jealous. I don't fucking know. Indy says, check my super chat. Fucking hell, I can't actually check unless I can see it in a quick scroll. Oh, there it is. Got it. Is there an emphasis on chemistry when bringing in players? For example, Neves and Bruno play internationally together. Would this prevent flops? I think that was the theory, potentially, or part of the theory behind why so many British players were brought in, and why so many players have been brought in under previous regimes that had played in the league before, because that helps in with the settling down process. And I think there's probably some sense to that in some sort of sense. How many weeks is Ralph in the job now? Because he said we would only need 8 weeks to teach it. I don't know. It's about 8 weeks, isn't it, actually? What do I think of the new club executive asking former players for their opinion? I'm torn on that, in all honesty. I am torn on that. It depends what the goal is. Is the goal to do what City do? And City absolutely do this. So I've got no fucking fear of saying this. This is what City do. City try and make it very nice for you. They play the game. They give you access to their players and their legends for interviews, and they make it all nice and sweet. And then when you write a negative article about them, they phone you up and ask you to justify your negative article. Now, you as a journalist, how often, and then they'll deny you access and they start fucking you about how many negative articles about City are you going to do where you get the phone ringing asking you to justify every single line in that negative article? You're not going to do it, are you? And is it bullying? Absolutely. And United probably did it to a certain extent with Fergie banning people. A different way of doing it, I guess, but like the way Manchester City do it, it feels like it's to shut down, a lot of the sports washing sort of talk. And I don't necessarily agree with that. If that's what they're trying to do by getting these former players on side, I don't agree with that. If it's to ask their professional opinions on who's doing things right, who's doing things wrong, you are people that we would hope have got a love and affection for Manchester United, and you are people that have seen what it's like to be a winner at Manchester United. What do we lack? If that's the conversation, that's different. But I don't know what it is. I'm sure I'll find out, because I do believe Rio's been asked. So I'm sure I'll find out when it's all come out through the wash. SK says, I'm baffled by how these guys do not know how to run the club properly. Heights of incompetence. David says, Steve, time to travel to Dublin. It's on the cards, more than you could ever know. We're definitely going to try and do it. What was I going to say then? Oh, that was it. So I can't really go into full detail because someone will get in a lot of trouble for it. But I learned something today about some stuff going on within the coaching and the organisation at the club, and I was fucking shocked at how poor it is, and how something that you would assume is dealt with is not dealt with. And do you know, like when we heard the stories of Luke Shaw just living on takeaways and stuff like that, and you go, that can't be fucking true. Well, it is true, right? Those things exist at the football club. Like, I would think we have dietitians that are looking over every single player's diet. They're having to log it in like a MyFitnessPal or something similar to that. I would think that they're wearing shit like this, the Whoop, so you can see how much sleep they're getting, so you can see what their recovery state is. Do you know what I mean? Just you have this illusion because they're on telly all the time and that they're they're worth hundreds of millions of pounds as individual players, and they're paid so much that they would have the best of everything. And you find out that they're not even like American college sports level. Lance says top 5 Howson moments we may or may not know about. Don't know. Depends what sort of shit you're looking for. It's just, you grow up as a fan, and Joe said this brilliantly a while ago. You grow up as a fan believing that United are the good guys and we're at the front of innovation and this and the other, and then you actually find out that we're not much better ran than when Fergie rocked up in 1986. We just polished more, or we got a bigger Instagram following. You know what I mean? Tranmere watch along is number 1. Oh, he's not allowed to get drunk on stream anymore. Set piece coach is Luke Shaw's Uber Eats driver. Do I think Kamara replaces either one of McFred partnership right away? I think he's good enough. Yeah, I definitely think he's good enough. DB Cooper says, Steve, love you, my brother. You and all the paddock fellas are like a big family from across the pond. Cheers, mate. I hope that does come across on camera, because we do genuinely have a laugh at work. We definitely have a laugh at work, and I do think that comes across on camera sometimes. Rory says, Kessie, Zakaria and Kamara all available for free in the summer. Any of these worth waiting for, as they would be straight into 11. Zakaria, I'm not sure. Kessie and Kamara definitely are. That's the one. Is there any under 23 vids or youth videos coming? No, because I stopped doing the youth review when I stopped being able to go to the games regularly. Because I feel that's important. Some people might think, oh, you can get the vibe of everything what's going on just through the TV, but you don't. I think you know, there's a reason that scouts get sent to watch the game in person. So I stopped talking about it. That also stopped getting a lot of the fucking insight from the youngsters by not being at the ground as well, which is a big miss. So as and when I can actually spend some time and watch them, then I'll roll with it. Did the green and gold kits get delivered today? Yes. 880 shirts arrived in our office today, and I know that they've started work on and getting them out. And I believe that they're going to be all hands on deck for the entire week. I have no idea how long it's going to take to get them all away to everyone. We've also still got to do the custom ones, so we are waiting still on the actual custom. Anyone who ordered a custom name or number, we've got to do that separately. So that's going to take us a little bit longer to be able to do, because we just got all the blank shirts. So what we've got to do is, with those 880 shirts, we've got to send them off to the 4 corners of the world, because literally the entire planet is represented in that. We got to badge up the ones on number and name up the ones that are going for customers with custom names and numbers. We've had like 50 plus 1 on some of them. I8 Glazers. We've got all absolutely fucking bananas names on some of them. And then we've got to put the players' ones on. And then hopefully we will be able to wear it in but a few weeks. Potentially even at home at Droylsden. Maybe we'll give it a run out at Droylsden. Now we've got Droylsden coming in the mixer. Ian Hamilton says, you're obviously a football nerd. I'll take that the correct way. You haven't thought of checking out Glasgow and its football history. Produce some good ones, eh? It has. There's shit, I got a book up here somewhere, I think. Where is it? Over there. I have a book on Scottish football. It's called The Managers, I think. Let me just have a quick Google while you're on. I think it's called The Managers. And I think that's about Scottish football managers and those that have come from struggle to find it now, and I might have to go on my Amazon. Can't see the cover of it. Let me check my Amazon. Give us 2 seconds and I will find it. But I haven't read that yet, but that's one about as you would guess, managers, and Scottish managers in particular, and potentially Glasgow managers specifically, which, let me just have a gander. It's poor Wi-Fi up here. Let me just get it on that. check my orders and see if it comes up. I think my phone's on 1%, so don't die on me. It's died. I'll find out for you. Would getting back in the would you back us getting into the top 4 and how far in the Champions League? Getting past Atletico Madrid's going to be rough. I think we're capable of doing it, but I think it'll be rough for sure. And I do think we will get in the top 4. Yes. Doubt Moyes is in that book. No, I don't think he's in that. Need to get charged upstairs. I got a charger here. I got a rapid one actually as well, a USB-C one. Let me just plug it in. I have it here. I was just being lazy before and not plugging it in. Are the clubs taking steps to right the ship without putting things in place to make the right choices? Says Hensel. I believe so. But it just feels, man. It just feels like we're so blasé. I've said it so many times. It's becoming a bit of a cliche, but I honestly believe Manchester United are like a fucking Instagram influencer at the moment, where the Lamborghini's rented, the fucking apartment's not ours, and we're telling everyone that we're living the vida, and we're fucking not. And that's the issue. In a lot of ways, I think that we believe our own bullshit. It's not like we're faking it till we're making it. We actually believe we're still king shit, but we're just shit. Is Garner at Forest for the season? Yes. Dan Bilzerian all day long. Alex says, stay on Saturday. Jimmy Garner bossed the East Midlands derby. Can we have him at DM in the first team? Probably not this season. I think you got to let him stay out there and do what he needs to do for the whole season. Bring him back for pre-season and give him the opportunity to do it. Simon Stone has tweeted, is that it one there? Momo's got it in the comments. The management, Scotland's great football bosses. Let me just find it. I'm just checking my recent orders. Correct. That's exactly what it is. It's still showing as only dispatched and not delivered. There we go. Can everyone see it? The management, Scotland's great football bosses, Michael Grant and Rob Robertson. I've got that. I've left it at work, so I haven't actually had a chance to read that one yet. The Intelligent Soccer Coach by Carl Wilde. I will love it. Will I? Shit. Oh, I'm still here. I just knocked the webcam off. Hang on, one sec. I'm still here. I don't think the webcam is, though. Can everyone hear me? If this doesn't come back on in a couple of seconds, we'll have to go on the actual webcam on the laptop. But yeah, we just the web. Give it a sec. Hopefully, it comes back on. There we go. Just rearrange that. Yeah, had a book fall off and smash it into it. Yeah, I knew we had audio. I'm not dead. I'm here. It was Jose that jumped off and decided to try and kill us all. How apt that was. Which is this one, Coaching Transitional Plays. Good book, this one, actually. But yeah, The Intelligent Soccer Coach. This one right here. I got it. Am I back on? Because my preview window's not showing me back on. I'm just going to hit refresh and hope that it fixes. I think it's fixed. Can you all see me? I think I'm actually back on. Let's hope I'm back on at least anyway. I got some more good ones up here. This one's a new one. In fact, this is probably one of the best books on football I've ever read. Das Reboot. It's fucking sensational. Yeah. I think I'm back on. Am I back on? Yeah, everyone says yeah. All right, cool. Sidestone just said Sevilla have made an offer, nothing agreed. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think Marshall will be gone sooner rather than later in this window. Favourite United non-Dutch player? Oh, favourite non-United Dutch player? Really? Cruyff or... It's Cruyff. It's Cruyff or potentially Van Basten, I would say. When's the Paddock documentary out? The Paddock documentary, Howson used to be an Arsenal fan. On what fucking planet is that? The Paddock documentary, we got slow readers in for music on it. We're just waiting for it to be cleared. So that's it. Well, I just saw a question there. Which player's autobiography is the best in my opinion? Paul McGrath's. By some distance, actually. Seedorf, oh, that's a great shout. Do I have a barber in-house or on retainer? I am a month without an haircut, which is why I'm looking a little bit like you found me in the woods at the moment. Normally I don't go more than 2 weeks. But I had to cancel because I thought I had Rona. I'm back in on Wednesday. Would James Garner be a viable option next season? I think so. Yeah, I think so, you know. Seedorf was a fucking player, man. Absolute player. I think we need to look at replacing Shaw or Tellez. It could get to the point where that does become some level of an issue, I think. Not yet. I don't think it's I think the midfield is more of a problem. Yeah, do I think the 4-2-2 will make a comeback? Yes, I think so. Any chance of a return of the History of Manchester United series? Maybe. Not yet. At the moment, the amount of effort going into getting these green and gold shirts out, and also the other stuff in play with what's going on with Paddock, we are applying for a new league. We have got a facilities build that we'll be moving into in hopefully June. We're trying to box off our sponsors for next season, and at the same time, you know, trying to fucking win the league that we're in. 5 games. I believe if we win all those 5 games, we're the champions. Technically, that's not true. If second place win all of their games, they can be champions, and actually third place, if they win all of their games, because they've still got to play us, they could be champions. So it could be a three-way split for it at the moment, but I believe I've got probably 2 real tough games out of that 5, and I think if we win that 5, I think we win the league, because I think the other 2 teams are going to drop more points. So I think that's the case. How does one play for Paddock? Turn up to the trial session on Friday, 6 till 7, and if you're good enough, you'll be invited to stay. We've got 4 squads, under 21s, development, reserve, and first team. Next season it'll be 5, and potentially a women's team if we manage to pull that off. What was the tweet before about moving grounds? So at the moment, we play at Nichols, and it's funny because there's actually quite a lot of this in the documentary is talking about Nichols. So Nichols is, it's a graveyard. There's 80,000 bodies buried underneath the pitch. This is all true, by the way. You can Google this. It used to be known as Ardwick Cemetery. If you're interested in your Mancunian history, go check it out. 80,000 bodies in there. This is all the mill and industrial revolution era Mancunians. They will be buried in there in Ardwick Cemetery. And then in about 1907, I think it was, they decided to stop putting people in there. And then in 1966, year Eric was born, they decided to just lift all the flags up and put grass down and turn it into a recreational ground. So the gravestones weren't the ones that you see standing up in regular cemeteries like nowadays. The gravestones were those flat ones that you see in old churches. So they just lifted all of those up, didn't dig any of the bodies up, and just fucking left it. So our home ground at the moment is 80,000 bodies under it. Fucking mad or what? But the pitch is old. It's like 20-year-old 3G. So it might not even be 3G. It might be 2G. It's fucking old. And sometimes the ground's well fertilised. It's 3G. Some of the graves collapse every now and then, and the ground sinks. So I can't wait to move to a new training ground. And I spoke with Dave Pace from Droylsden today. Oh yeah, can I count those as attendance? Even though they're dead. I spoke to Dave Pace of Droylsden today, and he's given us the green light, said we can play there next season and finish off this season. Is Paddock a better managed team than United? True story. We've been working with Fabrice Muamba, and Fabrice, he thinks we run a bit like a championship club in the back end, which I guess is a lot of compliments from someone who actually knows where it's what a professional setup should be. So I guess that's a hell of a compliment in it from a professional footballer. Oliver says, when coaching Paddock, how much input do the players have on tactics, etc., and how do I handle if they disagree with anything? I'm fucking in charge, so if they don't like it, they can fuck off. I do liaise with a lot of the senior players in how we should approach certain things, but ultimately, the same with the other coaches, it's my decision. I'm very, very hands-on with it. Olav says, I'm a young coach myself at Bern, well played, in Norway, where Haaland came from. Have I looked into other countries' youth development compared with the UK? Yes. I don't think English football, the way it's developing talent, even though it's certainly on the surface considered successful at the moment, I'm not sure it's as successful as it is. Someone mentioned the pits in Ardwick. I live facing the pits in Ardwick. You are 200 metres from where we are than at Nichols. If you look on the map, you see how close it is. Am I hiring the Butchers Arms again, or looking to get it fully? We'll be hiring it. Bring Paddock to play a team in the League of Ireland. We get a sponsor that can cover the cost, mate. We'd absolutely do that. If Paddock win the league or the cup, are we eligible for the Cup Winners' Cup? No. What about a Paddock pre-season tour? We've actually been invited on a pre-season tour to Dubai. Whether or not that comes off, because the cost involved is going to be mental. And obviously, we're a team that pays subs. The boys pay subs. We can't just afford that. So if the sponsor covers it, we're out there. Have we applied for the Manchester Prem? All will be revealed in good time where we've applied for. My grandson is 16. Is he too young for Paddock? No. We've got the under-21s. You don't want to be 20 and 21 playing under-21 football, really, do you? Ideally. So I want under-21s as young as possible to give them maximum time to develop and expose them to men's football as well at the same time. So that's what we're looking to do. Can you have a rum night in Manny? I'll travel up for that. Do you know what? That'd be a great idea, wouldn't it? Might do a Patreon event like that. We're talking about doing a Patreon event as soon as COVID properly fucks off. And by the sounds of things, I think the government are just going to fuck it off anyway. Who's the mole in the United dressing room? Well, I've said who one of them is. I'm not repeating it. All-time favourite United shirt, either the 68 Cup Final one or the 96 FA Cup Final Cantona one. Does Rio have a team similar to ours? Not yet, but I don't know if that's going to remain the case. We are looking at doing a 5 tournament. Potentially, for those that remember the Fan League Cup, which is what actually started this entire fucking mad journey. We entered an 11-a-side team as full-time Devils, played Arsenal Fan TV and creators, and like Cheeky Sport were in there and Ball Street were in there, and I think Palmer's might have been in there. It was fucking mint, and it was well on. It was all on one day. Well, we're either going to host one of those in the summer, like a bit of a Paddock Invitational as a pre-season tournament, or we're going to do one as 5, which will be a similar thing. Did I start doing the tactical previews as current content on YouTube? Was very basic in terms of preview. I don't understand what that means. The previews that we do at the moment take a full day to edit. So I know loads of people fucking just spam the comments with, Ralph said this in the press conference. Cool. I recorded it the day before. I can't delay it that long because of how long it takes to make some of the animations happen. What happened to the Football Republic? It was mismanaged by its owners. Top and bottom of it. Absolutely mismanaged by its owners. It was potentially the greatest football channel for the neutral and for everyone to come together that was out there ever. It was better than Copper Night in my opinion. Gob United did some excellent documentaries and has got some excellent shows, but I think the overall package, and TFR actually had a team that was doing bits as well. Rory played in it. So at one point, Football Republic had Lawrence, Geordie, Rory, McCullough, Statman Dave, myself, the boys at the Spurs channel. It was up Hugh Wizzy. It was fucking brilliant, and it was just mismanaged. So yeah. Do I think Laird should have stayed at Swansea? No, I think it's a better move for him going to a team that's probably going to... Adam Boltwood as well, yeah, of course. Adam Boltwood was the producer, as well as being on camera. He was ace. And actually, there's a lot of people that are now working at like hashtag and stuff that were behind the scenes at the TFR. TFR, like, you can probably trace everyone, to having jobs doing this now through that, I would say. Where do you have Xavi, Iniesta, all-time midfielders? Oh, God, I think they've got to be the basis of any sort of top 5 list, aren't they? Aren't West Ham and AM very similar tactically? AM? Atletico Madrid? I mean, from a very, very basic standpoint, a little bit, yeah, but I think there's different levels to it. James says Paddock 11 versus RH 11 in a friendly. Which RH? Up the RH, as in Ryan Hopper. Ryan was meant to have been playing in that Lescott 11 last week, Ant says Steve seeing a Sky. I've had. I don't know who other people choose for their shows. Isn't my fucking thing, to be honest. What's the best way to get tickets for Old Trafford? This might sound condescending, but have a season ticket. I don't know, right? I've had a season ticket in 1997. I don't know where you get tickets. Sorry. I am literally, I get asked this a million times. I haven't got a fucking clue. You want a spare for the game? Yeah, I can't help you. It's not something I can deal with. What's my football philosophy for Paddock? Attack, attack, attack all fucking day long. I will never settle for a draw. I'm just fucking here to attack. Even when we were losing 5-0 against Macclesfield, I was still attacking or trying to attack. I like fast-paced football. I grew up watching fucking Fergie's United. It can't be anything. I grew up watching Fergie's United and latterly fell in love with Bielsa and Cruyff. It can only be on the floor and attacking. How good is it to be doing videos with Rio? But I wouldn't have dreamed of that 10 years ago. Fuck me. Yeah, 10 years ago? No, absolutely not. I mean, I've spoken to him. It's on the video that we did at Old Trafford, actually, if anyone's clocked it or wants to go and clock it. And someone's just asked, why did Nicky Butt... I've got the inside scoop on why Nicky Butt left his role. Yeah, but I ain't putting it out there. I think I might have mentioned it on a Paddock pod once, but yeah, it's probably out there. I've said it. I've spoken to Rio about watching him lead us out for the champion. This is so fucking surreal. But if you've seen the video of us at Old Trafford, you'll have seen it. Rio walking out for the Champions League final, seeing the concentration and just determination on his face. I was with Ben and Farke and said, "We're winning this. We are absolutely winning this. Look at him." And what's mad is I've actually got to speak to Rio about that fucking moment. And I think he actually buzzed off listening to like a fan's perspective on what must be one of the pinnacle moments of his career. But yeah, we even went and found the footage, and the footage is exactly as I remembered it. He obviously has his perspective of it, and he said he wanted to avoid looking at the trophy because he thought it was bad luck, and the trophy was on his right as he walked out, or something like that. And he looked over to his left to see the United fans, and it was at the moment he's looking at the United fans, I was like, oh yeah, we're fucking going, Any upcoming guests on Vibe with 5? We've got one that's going to break the internet in 2 weeks. Can I imagine Rio without all the career back issues? It's mad, isn't it? Mad. Who was important, Rio or Vidic? They both brought something different. And they were both fucking genuinely amazing. Ulster says, am I going to UFC London? Yes, I plan to be going. Yeah. Mokaev says he's got me some behind the scenes passes, which is fucking outstanding. So yes, I'm going to be going down there with that. Remember when Rooney scored the beautiful goal against Newcastle and was somehow still too mad to celebrate? We were talking about, if you've not seen it, we were talking about angry Wayne Rooney today on Vibe with 5. Fucking sensational. Angry Wayne Rooney was a fucking joy to behold, wasn't it? Why has Joel gone quiet after the weekend? We fucking know, don't we? What should be Mason's objectives this season? Develop as a footballer that can play for the team, I would have said. Any obscure managers you know about now that you like? Off the top of my head, I'm going to struggle, I think. Yeah. Olaf says, I'm slowly losing interest in English football because of the money and capitalism ruining the competition. Have I any hope of a 50+1 solution or similar? Unfortunately, not. No. I don't think it's going to come in. Now, as the European Super League things got announced last year, and then protested and then quickly squashed again, which was fucking sensational coming together from everybody. Someone says, don't swear. It's fucking 10 o'clock, mate. Relax yourself. I made a vow that Stretford Paddock FC would be a democratic football club. And we are this close to being able to enact that. We have started to put people in place in committee positions. We are moving towards becoming a community interest company from being the partnership that it currently is. And we will be then offering out memberships to you guys, essentially, to start having your say in how the club is run. And we're going to put in place X number of fan representatives. So for like the first, I don't know, let's say 150, 200 members, we're probably going to have one fan representative who will be elected to the board to speak on behalf of the fans. They will control some sort of fan either group, or we'll do it through the app that we've got going on at the moment. After we get to say 1,000 or 700 or 500, we might appoint another fan representative so people can apply, and then it'll be entirely democratic and entirely out of my hands. My objective with a football club is to build. I don't want to be a professional club. I've got a professional club that I follow. I don't need Stretford Paddock to replace Manchester United, and it's bonkers to suggest it could even come close to doing anything of that sort. But what's not bonkers to suggest, and it's not bonkers to dream of, is for us to be where Hashtag are right now, or Ramsbottom are, or where Droylsden were. And it's for us to exist at step 3, 4, 5 of the non-league pyramid, where we can have a nice little FA Cup run. We can provide a platform for players to be seen and move them back into professional football after they've dropped out through academies. And we can actually put in place something that might impact Manchester United's first team one day. That's my dream. Where's the Red Bull? Right here. And my dream is that Stretford Paddock FC provides first team player for Manchester United one day. And the reason and how we're going to do that, at the moment, if you're 5, 6, 7 years of age and you want to go and play professional football, you cannot go and knock at Manchester United, Manchester City, Everton, Blackpool, Blackburn. You can't knock on one of those doors. You have to be seen. So we're going to get you seen by giving you professional coaching from 6 and 7 and 8 years of age. That would be paid coaches that are UEFA A, UEFA B, proper professional coaches. No one's dad telling you to get rid. None of that shit. But proper coaches that want a career in coaching. And that's what my dream is. So I can't get involved with Manchester United. I am a fucking idiot off YouTube, right? But I still would like to impact in a positive light the football club that has brought me so much joy in my life. And I can do that by providing in this city real good coaching quality at the grassroots level that eventually leads to one of our kids playing for England and scoring a fucking winner for United in a Champions League final. How fucking cool would that be? And that's what I want to do. And that's what I'm going to put in place. So the first team will exist at step 3, step 4, step 5. Hopefully we get some fans down, because I don't know if you saw SE Dons and who was it? Beatties 2 weeks ago. They had 2,000 people down at a Sunday League game. I was talking to Rio about this. I spoke to loads of people about this. The one thing that I would like you to look at with the crowd of that. Now, you look at the crowd at Old Trafford. One, it ain't very diverse. It's very much a 40-year-old white man's sort of attendance. And I know I am within fucking ball hair distance of being a 40-year-old white local man. But that's the reality of what the fan base is. When you look, if you generalize that fan base, it's 40 and it's white and it's male. And if you look at what's coming and watching paddock games, what's coming and watching these Sunday League games, what's watching hashtag, what's going, non-league's going through an absolute resurgence at the moment. And what's watching them is groups of 12 and 13-year-old lads that are going together because they can't do that at United. It costs too much. It's chicks. It's people from different ethnic backgrounds, which, for whatever reason, aren't going to Premier League clubs. And I think that's what football should represent. It should represent the society that it lives within. And I don't think Manchester United, from a very, very broad generalisation of what's in the stadium, I don't think it's indicative of what Manchester is as a city. And I look at the players who play for Stretford Paddock, and I look at the people who are coming watching us, even on the extremely small scale that we are now, and I feel like we represent where we are. And I would like to continue to do that. If this, the club's not a protest against modern football. The club isn't a protest against the cost of the Premier League. But if it becomes an avenue of escapism for people that are seeking those sorts of things, then so be it. But like I said, the main objective for us is to have a place to kickstart people's career, like we've done with Isaac Buckley-Ricketts, who's now banging the goals in at Southport in the conference. Hang on, Alexa's having a bad one. Alexa's just jumping in. Shut up. What we've done with Isaac, he's now scoring goals for Southport. Akira Simmons made his debut this week for Chester. I think they're Conference North. So we've already proved in 18 months of, and including disability, of course a disability. Yeah, I mean, our super fan Alex Neil is the literal standard bearer for that. But with what we've got going on in terms of in 18 months, we've managed to move double figures worth of players into pro and semi-pro clubs from a standing start. You give me 10 years and the facilities and all the rest of that sort of stuff, we're going to absolutely fucking smash it. Marshall apparently is a done deal. Well, there we fucking go. Bye-bye. We thought there were going to be at least 2 go, didn't we? Potentially 3. One of them has gone. Can I put some details about Paddock for my grandson, please? I'm going to tell him to watch the video. Go to the website, mate. Go to the website, stretfordpaddockfc.com. There's a tab that says play for us. All the details are on there. Does that mean we can get someone in now? I don't think so. McCullough will be crying. McCullough is crying. He already is. How do I define my dreams and goals in life so clearly? Christ knows. I don't know, you know. Cheers for Isaac Buckley-Ricketts from Southport. Wow, we got a Southport fan in the comments. That's sensational, isn't it? How's he getting on? I've seen that he's been posting up a load of pictures. I'm assuming he's only doing that because he's doing well. Saul says, is there a possibility of playing against Ashton United? They're my local. Saul, did a lad called Boubacar Jenkins play for them this weekend because he couldn't play for us because he was playing for Ashton? How did he get on? So there's another one. Ashton are step 4, step 3. And young 18-year-old Boubacar Jenkins, he is fucking harder than a coffin nail, and he is a real doesn't say boo to a goose, won't speak, but he's hard. he's got a real talent about him, and I'm fucking gutted that we've lost him, to be honest with you. Signed Isaac for Partick Thistle in Footy Manager 21. He scored 30 goals in a season. Isn't it mad that Paddock players are on Footy Manager? There was a guy that actually did football all the way down to our level, and you can actually take over Paddock and stuff. Jeff says, Steve's your military background. I'm a vet as well, and they teach us how to be organised. It might be. Yeah, maybe. There was a lot of brainwashing went on, wasn't there? Some of it good, some of it not so good. Some of it I'm still dealing with. Saul says, I had to miss United because United was on, but I've seen him subbed on a few times. His mates turned up in the pub afterwards. Good lad. Booba's ace. I'm going to be fucking gutted to lose him. But he's another player that came to us from the college. I brought him off the bench and he scored against Milton earlier in the season. I was like, something about him there. I played him right wing, I think, when he first came on. I'm like, no, there's a midfielder here. Played him in the 8, pretty good. You play him in the 6. I was like, oh, hello. I don't know who I'd describe him similar to. He's got a ratting sort of nature about him, like he'll put himself around. He's hard. He goes into a tackle, but he can play on the ball. Just a brilliant all-round midfielder. Like I said, 18 years of age. And he's small, but he's hard. Excellent player. So Marshall's off the book, says Colin and Mank. Maybe room for a new signing. It is a big wage off, isn't it? It is a big wage off. Like his Barmy Army will take good care of him. Daniel says, hey Steve, hope you're in good mental health. Great to hear you talk passionately about Paddock. It's, you know what, it started off with the Fan League Cup, as I was sort of mentioning earlier. We did that and I was like, that was fun, that. I'd love to do more of that. And then we ended up having some just shirts made with the Stretford Paddock logo on them. And some people was like, why don't you make a team? I was like, yeah, why don't we make a team? I was going to make a Sunday League team. And I thought, well, do you know what? If you do a Sunday League team, you've got, what? Best part of maybe... You could win 1,000 games and still be a Sunday League team. If you win 1,000 games, we could be in the Championship. How mad's that? Do you think we'll make top 4 if we don't buy a DM? I think we can. Yeah. Marshall's loan is going to cost Sevilla like 10 million, says Predrax. That's interesting. It's going to be really sad when Cavani leaves, says Raf. It is, but I think he's gonna. Ramos has the same amount of goals as Messi in the Champions League. What? Madness. Sam says, Steve, the lad that did the Footy Manager database down to Paddock level is a Southwick fan, which is who Ralph played for when he was over in England. Unbelievable techers. Oh no, apparently some people have died in a stampede after the Cameroon AFCON game. Fucking hell, that's not good, is it? What's my opinion on making Raf permanent manager at United? I would say give it 3 to 4 months at least before you make that decision. Notch says, I'm right by Ramsgate FC. I wonder if they would want to arrange a game with you. As you know, we'll play anyone. So over Christmas, I was trying to get as many friends. We had so many games called off. And I'm a big believer in match rhythm, match fitness, and I organised the friendly with Macclesfield. We got fucking tatered 7-0. Macclesfield are flying at the moment. They're going to be straight into the conference, probably League 2 before you blink. But we got absolutely fucking schooled, and now on some cases that's bad, on some cases that can be good, and I think we've done a lot of learning over the last 5 or 6 weeks. But we've had a lot of losses. You know, we lost in the league on the 18th of December. We didn't turn up, and then the next run out that we had some behind closed door stuff, and then we had a run out with Macclesfield, got smashed 7-0, and then we played Lescott and some ex-Premier League players. Tell you what, Chris Eagles is still fucking absolutely flying. He's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous still. And yeah, we got smashed again, 4-1. Yeah. Have I seen Bohemian FC new kit with Bob Marley estate? Wow, no I've not. That's cool though, isn't it? Fabrizio was given the here we go from Marshall to Sevilla. Yeah, we touched on that a second ago. Marshall confirmed loan, so there you go. I think the further McTominay gets pushed back, the less effective he is. Yeah, I think he's an 8. Evan Walker says, proudly wearing my Paddock FC kit around Houston, Texas. Superb. When you all get your green and gold, you need to absolutely spam the shit out of us with it. Apologies it's taken so long. COVID hit the factory and they closed it. And they were like, yeah, Joe, that shit that you were meant to get in September, it's probably going to be December now. And then December came and they're like, yeah, Joe, that shit that you're supposed to get in December, yeah, it might be January now. And then you're like, fucking hell. Bradley says, love the 39 Rashford top in the background. Is that from a game? No, it's not match worn. It's badged up like the Europa League. You can probably just about make that out, probably, I guess. And then Marcus has signed it for us. Alex says, when my green and gold shirt comes, I'll spam you all and I'll be wearing it every game at OT. Mint. I think this probably... Joe, what's going to be mad is... And I'm going to love to see this because I've actually seen a couple of people wearing Paddock FC shirts at United, which threw me. And obviously it's harder to even clock now. And Rebecca says I'm going to be wearing mine around OT. Superb. Can we still get the green and gold shirts? Now, I'll come to that in a second. So I was saying, like, I've seen a couple of people, but they've clocked me and obviously recognised me, which makes a lot of sense, right? I wonder, because of how popular the green and gold was, do you think there's anyone that's bought a green and gold that don't have a fucking clue who I am? Because I will buzz off that like you won't believe. Am I a celebrity at Old Trafford? No. I do get asked for a lot of pictures and stuff, and I'll be honest, the military side of me fucking hates it. I don't know how to best describe this. You spend your entire life in the military trying to fucking hide and not be seen, and then I do stupid shit like this for a living, and now it's on a match day it can be anywhere from like 50 to 100, and I find it a little embarrassing, and I know that's wrong, and I don't want to be a dick with anyone. I've only ever turned down 2 photos. One was in a toilet, and I'm not taking a fucking picture in a toilet with you. And the other was something had just happened that I had to get away from Old Trafford quickly. Not anything, bad that happened to me or anything like that, but I had to get away and was kind of like stuck somewhere, and I was trying to get past a few people, and some guy asked me for one day, and I was like, look, mate, I'm in a fucking rush. But yeah, that's just not the one. I don't enjoy it, to be honest. I'd rather just fucking melt into the ground and not get fucking clocked, but it is what it is. On the is there any green and gold for sale? So I overordered just in case that when you do anything like this where it's a custom order and it's a one-time play and it's took us 10 months or something like that for them to arrive. When we do something like this, it's a stupid idea to just order as many as you need. So I overordered maybe not quite 10%, maybe 7 or 8%. So there will be some sizes available, but there won't be many. And the way it's going to work is we're going to make sure everybody gets theirs first. And also, the postage is tracked, but sometimes that fucking postage just doesn't arrive. So it eventually gets sent back to us because it's tracked. They just take a long fucking time to do it. In the meantime, if someone's shirt gets sent back to us, we're going to send them a new shirt out. So we need to have enough shirts in stock to go and do that. And obviously, if we've got just the right amount, what if some of them have come and the badge is wrong? What if some of them have come and a bit of the shirt's melted as they put the badge on? Do you know what I mean? Like there's some issues sometimes that you can get with shirts. So I overordered enough. So once we've sent everybody's shirt out, and we've done all the custom orders, and we haven't fucked any of them up, because we're fucking any of them up, that's a shirt down the pan, innit? Because it's us doing them. And then once we've put all the numbers on the player ones, and I've got a couple of spares for the players, because them shirts get ripped all the time, we've got to last them all the way through to next season. we're going to play the end of this season, and I'll wear it as many times. And yes, the green and gold are here, that's what we're talking about. Once they're all sorted, there'll be a little bit of an overspill, maybe 25, 30 shirts, and I'll stick them up for sale as soon as we know what's going on with those. But yeah, you might be about 2 or 3 weeks away from that. What else was there then? Do I think there should be more games on free-to-air TV? Absolutely. If Phil Jones became a free agent, is there any chance Paddock try and sign him? Probably not after what I've said about him. Do you know how good he would be? What's the green and gold, says Vio. We did a pre-order. Get my phone. We did a pre-order of Stretford Paddock FC football shirts, and we did it in April and May, I think it was, last year. And they were meant to be here by September, and it took a little bit longer than that. Let me just try and find them. There they are. That's what they look like. Can you see that? You've seen it. If you've not seen it, go on Stretford Paddock stuff and you'll see it. So yeah. What's my thoughts on Vlahovic? Should we get him? I like the look of him. Let's see what the crack is. What's my attitudes towards non-Mank matchgoers from Mank matchgoers? Some don't like it. They really don't. Truthfully, I honestly, I don't give a fuck. If you're making the journey to come to Old Trafford and you've come from fuck knows where, that tells me your commitment. And if you've only ever supported United and haven't ever had the cash to get to Old Trafford, but you hope to one day, fantastic. I was born here by lottery of birth. Don't make anyone better. People who can go to the game choose not to go to the game and then fucking act all self-righteous about it. They can fuck off. You should experience football live if you can, and that doesn't necessarily even mean United. Football's meant to be experienced live. It's not a TV program. It's better live. Just playing up and down, left and right, no two fucking way around it. It's better live. That doesn't mean to say you're better if you happen to be able to fucking get to go and watch them live. You know what I mean? Notch says, used to hear fans at games talking about how much they hate Londoners going to games. People I used to stand with fucking hated it. I don't think it's... I wouldn't say it's the... What's the word I'm looking for here? I wouldn't say it's the popular opinion, but it's there. You know, to me say, oh no one dislikes, you know, the foreign fans and this, that and the other. Well, I'd be lying, wouldn't it? Because I fucking literally know people who've got a bit of an issue with it. Can't agree with it, but it is what it is. It's the same as anything. Manchester United is so fucking big. I remember the Bayern Munich game a few years ago under Moyes. Remember that? Remember him? I was standing waiting for my dad, and we just watched a load of the German fans come in, and some of the fucking clobber they were wearing was hilarious, by the way. And we were watching the waves of people coming in, and there was a guy coming down in like a fucking camel fucking Crombie coat with probably 2 hookers, if I'm being honest, on each arm. He was like 70. And the girls he was with were 22 on a fucking good day. 2 of them. And they were banging. And I remember just looking at him like, where the fuck are you going? Like, I'm going to the match, and where are you going? And then, you know, he comes past me and goes into the ground, and then there's the Scallies, they come past me and go into the ground, and a load of German fans with all mad fucking patches all over their denim jackets going to the ground. And then there's kids in replica shirts, face paint and flags. And I remember saying to my dad, do you know what? Who the fuck can claim to represent Manchester United? I was like, look at this. It's just an absolute fucking melting pot of everything, innit? Everything. Bonkers. Fucking hell, Jacob says, spent $800 to see the Burnley game live from Dallas. All right, I was hoping that wasn't a single ticket. If that includes a flight, then fair enough. Chris says, came over from the States to see Rio's testimonial, got twatted by Sevilla. I remember it. Still one of the best days ever. Can't wait to come back. I can't imagine how fucking awesome it is to eventually... Like, I don't remember my first game. I was taken that young that I don't even have the memory of my, like that Do that moment people talk about first time you saw the green grass? Don't have it. Just sort of came online 2 or 3 seasons in, I think. But I can't imagine how fucking cool it is going to your first game after watching for 10 years or more. I can imagine that's what a fucking trippy moment that is. It must be mint. Harry says, do I envisage a rival at Sky Sports for Prem rights in the next few years? If so, could spark another inflated market in football. Yeah, I actually think there's something like that in the pipework. I've actually thought that for about 10 years. I've thought, why don't Apple get an app? You know, I have Amazon TV. I think Amazon's actually fucking wicked for watching United. It just works, doesn't it? When you see, you know, what's going on with the way you can buy games on there, some sort of Netflix library, something like that would be fucking perfect, I think. DAZN apparently, yeah, DAZN might be the one. Prime are making moves. That's the big one, isn't it? First game from Northern Ireland was Champions League against Lille. Blinded by the spotlight shining off Bartez's head. Rich says, hi Steve, how you doing? What's the story behind me and the Paddock lads? How do we meet Adam, Joe, or British and British Jesus? You mean Jay and British Jesus? So I believe Adam and Jay were a couple of the original contributors that was asked to work on Full Time Devils. So Full Time Devils was set up by a media company. I think that's out there. Everyone's well aware of that's what was set up there by a United fan. So as a United fan, I think he's called Pete. I actually spoke to him on LinkedIn not long ago and said, have we fucking done what you hoped we would do with it? So he set it up as a project at a company called, it was Shot Glass Media, but I think it was, I don't know if it was part of Shot Glass originally. It was Fremantle Media. And he had this idea to make football fan content just as a pure side project within digital sort of media that he was working on. He then got moved before he ever got to work on it at all. And then they got in Neil, who is now I think he's an operations director now at Hashtag. And a guy called Johnny, who then, he left and I took his job. He went to go to Eurosport. And a guy called Alan, who I think went to work in music somewhere. Neil's an Oxford fan. He was the cameraman. But Johnny and Alan, and there was a couple of Irish guys that they got in the mix just to kick it off with as well, were all United fans. And then Sam Homewood was brought in, obviously United fans still working for the club, and they started to get contributors in, so they just looked around the blogs. McCullough was writing blogs for Republica Mancunia, which you might have seen Scott ROM on Twitter. He's got a blog called Republica Mancunia. And then Jay was Red Flag Flying High, which was a blog. And I also had a blog called MUFC Latest. And what they did was basically just try and get them videos out onto the blogs. Jay and McCullough kind of went on 3-4 months before the first time I was asked. And then they kept just like blasting us over videos to put up on the blog that I had. I'd post them. And that was it, really. And then after, I don't know, a few months of me posting the videos, they said, do you want to come on one? And I was like, not really. And they asked me time and time again, probably over the course of a few weeks. And I said, fuck it, yeah, go on then. So I think I ended up on a preview or a debate, something like that. I've got a big set of fucking AFK fucking headphones with a mic on them in my kitchen, wearing my Allied Scaffolding t-shirt because I was a quantity surveyor at the time. And apparently people liked it or didn't fucking hate it, at least originally. And then they asked me if I wanted to do a full day with them every week. So I did. And then that eventually led to them saying, well, do you want to do this for a fucking job? And I was like, I'm not going to leave being a quantity surveyor for doing this on YouTube. That's fucking crazy talk, innit? But they got me at a low moment. And I eventually said yes after about 4 times of them asking. And then that was that, really. And that was June 2015. I went full time. And then I only did 2 years, 3 years as doing it full time. And then I left and I started working for myself. I stopped being full-time, working on the channel full-time, and then jumped to start my own shit. And it's been an absolutely bonkers. So for those who are, people like Notch and that have been down to the studio, from what we started with to what we've now got is insane. And obviously was it even last year? It was 2 years ago, wasn't it? Oh my God, 18 months ago. The opportunity came up for us to buy the channel. So myself, Adam, Jay and Joe decided to put it together. I'd met Jay on Twitter before I'd actually met him. I think we used to chat on Twitter like pretty regularly. And I think me and Jay hit it off the minute we started chatting to each other, I think. And Joe, we found Joe, really. I mean, he came drunk and interrupted me and Abdul on a fan cam. And we'd just started an internship program at the time. And he goes, I think I said to Abdul, he was pretty good, wasn't he? Like, articulate and, knew what he was saying, wasn't fucking loony. And I was like, oh, shit. Yeah, let's have a bit of that. And then Joe came back and he's like, I've just done fucking broadcast, or he's done something media-y, broadcasty at uni, and was like, do you have any jobs going? And we was like, we've actually got an internship going. And he came and did a couple of days a week. And then I offered him a full-time job working with me. And then by the time it came round to that we were buying Stretford Paddock / Full-Time Devils, I made him one of the owners. So that's that. Why don't I do much content with Adam anymore? It's pure time. It's just a time thing. I saw loads of fucking crazy theories and that. But we do, if he's in on a Monday, which he's supposed to be in every Monday, but M6 is a bitch, he should be on every Monday with us. What's a quantity surveyor? Well, Bobby, it's the most boring job in the world. Essentially, what happens is, so I worked at a scaffolding company. Scaffolding is lifts and by lengths. So how many levels of scaffolding by how much meterage? I can't believe I'm even saying this. And I'd go out and I'd measure it and I'd take photos of it, and then I'd be like, hi, we have done fucking 200 meters of scaffolding by 4 lifts. You owe us, I don't know, 200 grand. And then their quantity surveyor would go out and measure it and he'd say, you've done 198 meters. I'm not giving you the full price. I'm going to give you like fucking loads off it because it's 1 meter short. And then you'd just be like, I would spend all my time arguing with fuckers. It's well shit. I basically lived in Excel spreadsheets and fucking hated it. Favourite FTD memory, says Ralph, mine's the FA Cup final blog 2016. Probably. The different perspectives of that was sensational, wasn't it? I'm so glad we've got that. And it'll live forever. Am I blogs on MUFC Latest offline now? Yeah, I think so. Loads of people talking about the Martial thing done. Any thoughts on the idiots sending hate on Pogba's IG? Yeah, I mentioned that before. Not for me. It's disgraceful, in all honesty. Miss Ian and Sam. Ian said he'd come back on, but I think he's been too busy and Rona hit, and that was a bit of a pain in the ass. Ari, the Feeling interview earlier in the season, do I feel the attitude of players who are good at midfield stuff, such as number 6, was best naive and even negligent? No, I don't think so. I think they had their eye on a few players and weren't able to get in who they wanted. John McCosh says, what do you mean, Steve? I'm in uni learning how to be a QS. Soz, it's fucking dull as dishwater, mate. Look, some people, maybe I was at a scaffolding company. I know a guy, I probably can't tell you the location in case we get in trouble, but put it this way, some QSs get all the perks of being a QS. There was no perks to being a scaffolding QS at all. I know a guy that got a house built in the centre of town. He bought a plot of land and was offering who could do. It was a tower block near Deansgate, and he was like, right, so I like your scaffolding price. That's cool. what can you do for me? And he'd be like, look, I'm building this little thing in town. And he'd pretty much say to you, do you want the job? This might be worth 2 million quid worth of scaffolding on this skyscraper. And he might want like 50, 60 grand's worth of scaffolding to build his house just round the corner. So he's basically saying, hey, do you want to give me that scaffolding for free on my little personal project? And I'll give you the £2 million contract. And of course, every contractor that he goes to is like, yeah, I'll have a bit of that. Fucking right, I will. Guy built an entire fucking house, got the bricks for free, got the plumbing for free, got the fucking windows for free, got his scaffolding for free, got his electricians for free. Fucking smashed it. Probably like, I mean, I know he paid for the land. The city centre land's probably quite expensive, but fucking Christ, it must be worth 7 figures. Little gaff that he's got now. Unbelievable techers. My mate's work as a QS and does work with Gary Neville. Heard it can be like Wolf of Wall Street at times. Not when I fucking words it wasn't. Or Football Daily, what's my thoughts with them? Football Daily, we used to do stuff with Football Daily. I'm not sure why that stopped. No one falling out. I think it's just... Do you know what? COVID fucking decimated any collaborations anyone was doing, didn't it? No, I keep saying to everyone in the office, like, we got to get back to doing that. Collaborations are the best thing about doing this sort of stuff. So, thoughts on the Arnold consulting Neville for advice? Yeah, I sort of mentioned it earlier. I think it depends on what the outcome is. Is it to censor people like City do, or is it to actually ask for expert opinion about people who might have a little bit more knowledge of what's going on everywhere else? Where's my next holiday destination, not work related? Interesting. I'd love to take the girls away just for a beach holiday. Blake hasn't been away anywhere. She's basically been a COVID baby. Someone's saying that the crush at AFCON's like Heysel level. Fucking hell, that's not good, is it? 6 or more dead already. Oh, that's awful. That's sad. Fuck's sake. Feels a bit of a fucking weird one to talk about holidays now, doesn't it? That's not good. Did I start a psilocybin treatment? No, not yet. February, I believe it was meant to start. Anthony Jarvis says, can we get Notch, 20 Legend, Ross, etc. on some of the watch-alongs? For me, yeah. The difficulty is where people live, innit? That's the dramas. But absolutely, yeah, I'm sure. That's the other thing is, for me, a fan channel isn't meant to be the Howson channel. That's what this is. This is my fucking ramblings are on here. But a fan channel really should be all the sorts of examples of fans coming together to make content. I love having... people that have got a little bit of experience really bring a lot. People who've worked in radio seem to be quite good because they're just constantly good at filling dead air. Comedians are always entertaining. Like Freddie's a fucking lunatic, isn't he? But I love him. People like Ange, they bring a lot to the table. And I want to keep continuing doing that. I want to make good content. It's fucking difficult when you can't get people into the studio. But yeah, there was a question up there before that I thought might be a good one. Where's that gone? Have I seen the Atletico Madrid result this week? No, I've not. What's happened? Seems when it's put in the creator's hands, the channel succeed. Paddock is a prime example. I'm proud of what we achieved. People want to measure things by how many views things get. I don't think that's the way, in all honesty. BBC reporting that Sevilla offered to pay all of Marshall's wage for a loan deal for the rest of the season. Top. Am I worried about the imminent war with Ukraine and Russia? Little bit. I think no one's backing down. I think Putin's too far in the mixer now to back down, and I just think that's the problem. I think ego and just refusal to fucking take it down a notch are gonna really fucking ramp this up. And I tweeted at Starmer the other day. He's saying we must stand firm and not allow these aggressions from Russia. Look, mate, I know you lot haven't been in power, but you're fucking barely an opposition. Marcus Rashford's more of a fucking opposition to the Tory government than Keir Starmer is. Don't be saying it's fucking we, this, that and the other, mate. It's my fucking mates that will be going and dying. And my colleagues that are going and dying. And people from working class fucking places like me and probably half of you fuckers watching, if not most of you fuckers watching. The MP class does not fucking fight wars. It's our lot that fights wars. It's our fucking tears. It's our coffins. It's our fucking funerals. And believe you me, lads, it was hard enough fighting the fucking Taliban in flip-flops. You don't... It's been hard to restrain myself from fucking arguing with people on Twitter about this, and they're like, me? Yeah, sometimes it happens. Some fucking guy saying we have to fucking stand up as NATO. What if our allies don't trust us? At the end of the day, mate, I don't give a fuck. The only people who want war have never been to one. That's it. The only people who want war don't know what it fucking look like. It's not a decision that you should make like that. I think anyone who fucking declares war should have been in one. It should almost even be, maybe you want to be an MP, you want to get paid 90 grand a year to set your fucking ass and do fucking 100 days a week or 100 days a year work. Cool. Do 2.5, 3 years, 4 years in the military. Then we'll see if you want to fucking declare war. War with Russia will not go the same way as the war with the fucking Taliban did. It will be an absolute massacre on all sides, and there will be fucking tens of thousands of people dead. Top and bottom. It will not go fucking well. It will not go like we fought the fucking Taliban. They had AK-47s and they had fucking RPGs and radios, right? Russia have got attack helicopters, jets, more fucking tanks than we've got bullets, I think. Like, I don't think it's right what's about to happen to Ukraine. And I think it's going to happen to Ukraine. But there's so many fucking places. Are we asking it's white people now? Is that what it is? Because it's European. Is that why people are asked? Is that why the government's fucking asked? This shit's happening all over South America and Africa and no one gives a fuck. This shit's happening in the Far East. China's doing shit like this to Tibet and Hong Kong, all over the fucking gaff. No one gives a fuck, right? Is it they only giving a fuck because they're white? That's bullshit. They're only giving a fuck because it's Europeans. Fucking bullshit. These injustices are happening across the fucking world and we're not going to intervene over those. Why have we got to go and intervene in this one? Pathetic. It's definitely going to go off by the looks of things. I don't see any way that this de-escalates in the slightest. And I just envisage, I mean, I saw a video today of Americans sending ammo over. I only think it goes one way. Just, do I ever think of getting into politics? Fuck no. Absolutely not. Rishab says, non-football question. Since you've travelled loads for the military and football, what's the best and worst thing I've learned about people everywhere? 99% of people are fucking ace. They want to get left alone. They want to hang out with their friends. This is any religion, any creed. Every fucking group of people just wants to be left the fuck alone to go and do the sort of shit that they like doing. And 1% of the cunts that are in charge have to fucking divide you by any means possible. The gays hate the straights hate the gays. The blacks hate the whites hate the blacks. The fucking Muslims hate the Hindus, and the Christians hate fucking everybody, and like people have to get divided by these labels, and it's bollocks, because anyone is the fucking same on the inside, and that is the fucking top and bottom of it, man. It's 1% of these pricks in charge that are getting rich off it, just fucking the whole fucking shebang up for everyone. Do I know any, Nishan says, do I know any Sikh people? Of course I fucking do. Of course I do. Loads. A couple of my mates started the British Asian Football Foundation, which I think was massively fucking needed 20 years ago when they started it, and now it took so long for Manchester United to get their first South Asian footballer. You know, hopefully it doesn't affect his career, but I think Zidane could be a fucking real guiding light for proving those stereotypes wrong about Asian footballers. Yeah. Toxic Jack says the only reason they care about Ukraine is because they want to prop up their own power by securing dominance over natural gas. Who's that? Russia? Yeah, maybe. I don't know enough about it. I just know it's fucking going to go off. And I've got a feeling that Britain will probably get drawn into it, which means that, you know, it's my fucking mates that I end up going. There's no need for it. There's absolutely no need for it. Why don't I do a podcast where I talk about everything except United? I want to be honest. And Rahul says, is the military podcast still happening? Right, I'll fill you in on what's going on. So we're doing a mental health doc. It's probably going to take a couple of years. So maybe 18 months or a year or so to film. It talks about my suicide attempt last year, which is going to be very difficult to discuss, I'm sure. And hopefully it leads me through the various therapies that I've been having over the last 8 months, and then into what's hopefully going to be full recovery. I think to promote that doc, and with potentially talking to a couple of people who might host it, BBC and Amazon especially. And once the documentary's finished, I am going to do a military podcast, probably 10 or 12 episodes, where I sort of speak to people and get their experience of stuff. The problem is there's a big block, right? Through therapy, I've discovered that, you know, I've got quite fucking severe PTSD and anxiety brought on by war, essentially. I did a test the other day, and I scored 69 out of 71 for fuck me, you're in the shit, lad. Which isn't good. 71 would mean you need medication. 69 means there's a lot of fucking work to do. Now, I do these sort of scores regularly, and my score was here, then it went down after like quite a long bout of therapy, and then it's gone up again. And as it went up again, in the last month, I've been doing a lot of research for the doc, and there's a lot of things that have been very difficult to watch and talk about. There's a film called Kajaki, which I knew a couple of the people that were in, and I was actually working that day. And it's about the Kajaki Dam incident that happened in 2006, Herrick 4, while I was in Afghanistan. So it's a fucking tough watch. Absolutely crumbles me when I watch it. And I sent it to Sophie, who's producing the doc, and couldn't help watching it. And it took me about 5 or 6 goes to watch it through first time round. I can watch it through now, but the end scene is the photos of the real lads. A couple of lads I knew. Matt Wright. Rest in peace, bro. So that's a fucking difficult watch. And over the last month, Remembrance Day's hard, obviously. Bonfire Night's fucking hard. And then doing a lot of the research and been reading up on some like regimental history, things like that. It's been very much at the forefront of my head for 7 or 8 weeks. So my anxiety's gone up, and everything's kind of just fucking gone up a little bit over the last couple of months. I feel like I'm in a lot fucking better place, in all honesty. But the things I've been learning through therapy, through talking to other people, has been fucking fascinating. I never felt good enough to have had PTSD. Does that make any fucking sense to anyone? I had a bang average career as a soldier, and I thought PTSD was for people that had like fucking insane, mad single events. And it's not the case. And I believe my PTSD stems from a couple of things. And we're exploring this properly in the documentary, so we will see this in the doc. One of the things that's happened is I've got extremely low testosterone, and that's been linked through the cortisol and adrenaline and head trauma that you get on ops. So what happens is you come under fire, your adrenaline spikes through the fucking roof, and if that happens several times, which it can happen fucking daily at war, your body starts to produce cortisol on a fucking industrial scale. Your adrenaline glands will go and go and go until they need to, and then your body starts going, too much adrenaline's going on here, what the fuck is this dude doing? And it starts to produce cortisol. And we're going to get experts on to sort of explain this sort of shit. The cortisol reaction is the same as head trauma, which I've had. I've been knocked out a few times, and concussive blows on the head from various reasons. They all do the same thing. They all start to lower your body's production of testosterone, because your body thinks this guy is going to fucking kill us because he's just doing shit that spikes your adrenaline. Now, you can't help it. You get under fire, your fucking adrenaline goes through the roof. Simple as. So I did a blood test, and I find this hilarious, to be honest. So my testosterone was that low that if I identified, this is 100% true, by the way, my testosterone was just low enough that if I identified as a female, I could compete as one at the Olympics. Think about what I'm saying. Do I look like a chick to you? My testosterone was that fucking low that the hormones that they give to trans athletes for them to compete, as a trans athlete, male to female, suppress their hormones that fucking much that my testosterone was that fucking depleted. I could have identified as a woman and competed. Actually fucking insane. That's as per the IOC's rulings, right? Now, what's the results in the male with that, right? In a male with low testosterone, you get depressed, you become suicidal, your ability to maintain any standard of fitness fucking disappears. And despite being committed and mentally fucking driven to be able to get back in shape, not fucking possible. So now I'm on injections to get my testosterone back up. I'm on TRT, like Vitor, but maybe not as much. And I'm due another blood test to find out if this is working, to see if the TRT has taken hold. Once I started, I lost 30 pounds almost immediately, which was nice, I guess. But I'm not that long into it. Do I inject in the balls? No, it goes in my leg. So, TRT Steve for an MMA comeback? No, but there might be another comeback on the cards. So, for the last few years, this is what has affected my fitness and my mental health. And one of the reasons I'm doing the documentary is I don't know how much public knowledge there is in the veterans community about how your testosterone can be crushed. And there's an excellent couple of documentaries out there from Americans that have discussed what happens with low testosterone. They're all, obviously Americans have way more look at the fucking blood work than we are in Britain, obviously. But there are a couple of benefits to being a veteran in the UK. You actually get preferential treatment with a lot of services in the NHS, which is a bonus. But one of the things that we'll be exploring in the documentary, as well as psilocybin mushrooms, which I've been recommended to go and try as a trial. Torin says, check out Umzu products, Steve. They're natural test boosters. I don't need natural ones, mate. I'm fucking blasting hardcore TRT Vitor type shit. We're all good. But I don't think there's enough of a discussion in the veteran community about what the impact of war and PTSD is. And I don't think people are aware of what your levels are meant to be, what they should be when they're healthy, and all the rest of that sort of stuff. So it's been a real fucking epic journey over the last 6 months dealing with and figuring out that sort of stuff. Saul says, in the doc, you're looking at doing, or are we going to do a section on the possible effects of the psychedelics? Yeah, like the 5 episodes at the moment, I wanted to call one of them Tripping Balls for when we go and do this. Someone says, call it military, not, I wouldn't say war. Well, it was fucking war. Like, I met people that did 18 years and just fucking went on the piss in Germany. It's totally different. The effects of what happens to your endocrine system, I didn't fucking know about. And one of the reasons why I wanted to fucking call it a day is I didn't know of a way out. I was like, I feel fucking awful. I can't get into any sort of rhythm going in the gym. There's all sorts of other thoughts going in the mixer and everything like that. And this is what I feel like this is the fucking game set and match time. But once my fucking, I mean, it's literally hormone levels leveled out, feel like a fucking new dude, man. Used to wake up in the morning, literally in pain. I have arthritis in my ankle. I have compartment syndrome in my calves, and I'm thinking that I fucking can't turn this around. We tried dieting, I try and exercise, ain't fucking doing it. As soon as sorted the fucking testosterone, well, I don't even know if it's definitely sorted yet. I might have to up the dosage yet. I'm still waiting to find out. But, you know, the difference for me is tangible. Someone says, we get to see your parents talking about how they felt when I went to serve in Afghanistan. Fucking hell. I don't know, you know. I think Janine's going to be talking about finding me, you know, bleeding all out my arm in the kitchen, which, you know, I'm not looking forward to. I'm sure she's not looking forward to. Nicholas says, this is amazing, Steve. Hormones so overlooked in the medical field, and it's 2020 fucking 2. Yeah. Peter says, Steve, I do 3 things in life: watch your content, watch United, and program. I hope you know that you make a difference in a lot of people's lives. I hope that there's people that maybe, you know, even if you're just suffering regular fucking depression, the first thing I would go and do is, where's your fucking hormones at? Because, you know, I've listened to Joe Rogan forever until he got all weird and COVID-y. But one of the things he says is like, when you're depressed, well, are you working out? All right, Joe. Yeah, I am depressed and I'm trying to work out, and it was having a compoundingly negative effect on me because I think I'm 19. I think I'm fucking army. Let's go fucking hoorah stay. And I'm not. And I would go to CrossFit classes and I would fucking hammer myself. It's the only way I know how to go. I am a fucking hammer and everyone's getting fucking malleted. And I would fucking hammer myself. And the next day, I can't get out of bed. And at the moment, Last night I went for the first run that I've been for, on the road at least, in fucking years. I did a weight session this morning, and I also managed to hit the elliptical, and I feel fine. I'm a bit tired, but I feel fine, and I know that I'm fucking doing it tomorrow. How old am I? I am 38 as a motherfucker. Someone in the comments just said, Janine just says, hang on, Janine's in the comments here, and she's just replied, but I can't see what she's replying to. What are you replying to there? She said proper shit, not gonna lie. I don't know what she's replying to. Alex says, great JRE chat a few years back about vets and hormone imbalances. Odd to think that with basically chemicals and a difference, realigning them back to normal could do to our mental health. Do you know what? Janine's in the comments. I'll just say to Janine, have you seen a difference? What's the difference you've fucking seen with it? Because I would be fucking snappy around people. I snapped at work loads of fucking times. I smashed the studio up downstairs about fucking 14 months ago. And it was over a stream going late. Do you know what I mean? It's not who I wanted to be. I wasn't in control of it. Rishnam says, thanks so much for opening up about things other than football. Many young guys like me around the world look up. I appreciate that, mate. I have got a lot of life experience. I've done fucking loads. And you know, I spoke about this a few times, man. Janine mentioned she's been teaching her pole classes for longer than I served in the army. And I said, I think I was nearly allied longer than I served in the army. But there's something that just becomes an identity of you. And I know Notch is in the comments, and I know he says, don't allow anything to just become your identity. I fucking enjoyed having the identity of being a soldier. I did. I was happy with that. Janine says, yeah, more chilled. Eon says, one of the few people I don't personally know has got my utmost respect, and that's coming from an Irishman. Tomorrow is what we make of it. Yesterday is gone. I'll drink to that. Anthony says, Steve, this really shows how everyone can suffer right in front of your eyes and you don't see it. Ask your mates if they're okay regularly. It's the only way. I agree with that, but I wouldn't have told you. I'd have said, yeah. You're right, yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. I wouldn't have fucking told you. And I think if you go and watch the videos, I think it was early April, end of March. Ginny will fucking tell you the exact date, I'm sure, but I dipped for a few days on videos. You know, and I think I said back in November, something like that, you know, I might dip again. You know, I don't know if I'm completely over this shit. If I feel the need, I'm gonna dip again. I haven't felt like that lately. I've upped how much content I'm doing on all sorts of channels. I'm arguably under more fucking pressure than I've ever been in. But I feel like I'm in a pretty good fucking spot at the minute. I missed a super chat. Sorry, Rastaman in the comments says, who's Janine? Janine is the lovely wife. And she's a fucking saint. Because how the fuck you put up with the chaos I can bring to your life is beyond me, I think. Do I think I'm also experiencing YouTuber burnout like a lot of creators do? Probably. Yeah. It fucking gets to you, man. Bill Burr had a great quote. Everyone thinks they're immune to all the criticism they get, and you get a fucking lot. Being opinionated about the biggest club in the world, you get fucking loads. And he says, no one's waterproof. And every fucking comment's probably like a shot's worth of water on a submarine. You let enough of it in, it probably fucking does it. And I think they're probably right, you know. JR says, I suffer from depression and anxiety, put 2 stone on, and I'm at the gym 3 times a week. Had a huge setback in November. It's given me more hope as I really hate my meds. I got offered a couple of times to get on medication, and for me that was a death sentence. Veteran suicides they're a pandemic forget COVID, veteran suicides are a pandemic. There's too many. I know more of my friends that have took their own life than were taken in combat. What the fuck? How's that a thing? And you know, it's quite fucking regular, to be honest. Tom Play says he's 29, too late to join the military. No. I might join the reserves. I have to see if I can pass the test yet. That might be something that I'm fucking with at the moment as a goal, as part of this documentary. Someone's just had a great question there. All right. I wasn't with Janine when I was in Afghanistan, but I was with her when I went to Iraq. I don't know, Janine, how did you feel when I went to Iraq? Because I don't know, being in the military can be a very selfish career, because and you know what, it has to be, because you have to have the utmost focus on the task in hand, otherwise it's not good for everybody again. But I think it can take a massive toll on your family. I remember seeing a photograph of my mum the day I went to Iraq, which was my third tour by then as well. And I thought my mum had aged 10 years. And that shook me a little bit when I eventually saw that. And you realise you're not the only one over there. We also got rocketed one day, and I was on Skype to my mum at the time. And that wasn't... I saw my mum's face and was like, I'm going to stop calling. Yeah, there's a few of those things that it's... When you were away with the lads, you're just fucking getting amongst it and you're laughing. But when you see what the impact is on your family... Janine says it was hard, but we were still new. We wrote Blueies every day. She used to send me photos. It was fucking top. I've still got them, actually. They're in a shoebox over there in that cupboard. I might dig them out, you know. Scariest incident in Iraq, getting fucking rocketed. It's the most terrifying experience in the fucking world. And the most terrifying experience, get rocketed or fired upon in Iraq and in Afghanistan, and there was no early warning system. You made a funny face and you fucking cracked on with life. But the early warning system that tells you that rockets are coming in makes you lie on the floor as the immediate action drill, and you just lie there fantasizing about whether it hurts or not. And I got rocketed 256 times in Iraq. Was joining the military because your family had history in it? Yes, but I also wanted to do it. It's all I ever wanted to do. Janine says something about your mum crying on Christmas Day. I don't know how that's made me laugh. It's not funny. I got shouted at on Christmas Day. I had a fucking horrible day. So Gordon Ramsay was at Camp Bastion. And I missed him because we was, let's say, working. And I had a fucking horrendous day, and we were soaked, and it was not a fucking good day out. And we ended up having Burger King for Christmas dinner on Christmas Day 2006, and we eventually got a chance to go and break away and get on a phone call, and I phoned my mum, and mum picks up, and I'm like, "Hiya, Merry Christmas," and she says, "What have you had for Christmas dinner?" I was like, fucking Burger King. And she starts crying, right? And then puts the phone down. Like, not down, but just like puts the phone down and just fucks off. So, my dad picks the phone up and then shouts at me, "What fucking have you said to your mum?" That's just what I had for dinner. So, yeah. No. Olivia says, I appreciate the openness and the honesty. I hope these sharing these things isn't adding to the pain and mental burden. It's not. I wouldn't talk about it. Does United have a huge impact on my mood? No, it has an impact on our superficial mood, I think. Did I watch any of United while serving away? Yeah, I remember watching the 2008 derby, the Munich one, in Iraq. I remember watching the first leg of the Barcelona game while I was there. 2006 while I was there, on Herrick 4 was the World Cup was on. Yeah. Watched quite a lot of football. Is it easier sharing this to 2000 live or one person face to face? Probably like this, in all honesty. When did I realise it was PTSD and not just depression? I didn't. Like I said, I was in denial about it for the longest time because PTSD is what happens to fucking absolute legends that go and do all sorts of madness, right? And I didn't think I did enough to get PTSD. Does that make any fucking sense to anyone? I just think, like I said, I had a bang average fucking military career. I did 3 operational tours, right? But so did everyone who was in the British Army in the 2000s, right? We all fucking did everything. And I didn't think. I broke my ankle. I did a promotional course. And I went from being rocketed for real to simulated bombings and rocketings on my junior cadre promotional course to be a corporal, which was hard mentally to take after being rocketed for real for 4 months. And the course culminated in me breaking my ankle. It was on a march. Rolled my ankle, tried to push through the pain, did about a kilometre on it on a broken ankle, and was like, I think I'm going to have to call it a day here. Handed over my map and GPS to my mate Jamie. He's a Birmingham fan, if anyone's interested. Because football's the main fucking topic of conversation now. It's just people taking a piss out of which shit club everyone else supports, mainly. He went 100 metres up the road and rolled his knee, did his cruciate ligament. So we had to get Kazovac, the pair of us. We managed to sneak some booze into where we were and just fucking drinking all night and having a good laugh with each other. And we almost convinced ourselves to fucking bang out and resign, essentially, at that time. And as I was getting my ankle sorted out after that, civvy doctor was on camp. Normally it's a military doctor that you speak to, but it was a civvy doctor. And the civvy doctor goes, just making conversation, like your NHS computers, that sort of stuff, they're fucking way slow. So as his computer's loading up all my information, he's just like, oh, what are you up to? How's it going? Just like literally just shooting the shit, man. And he was like, how's it going? You know, you alright? Sleeping alright? And I just went, well, I ain't slept in 3 months. And he shit himself and goes, starts panicking, trying to find a form. He obviously, like, if someone presents with, you know, this sort of comment, I guess they have to fill a form out or some shit. So he fills a form in, and I went and had 8 weeks of psychiatric treatment at Catterick. And I spoke to that guy, and he said I was very aggressive and answered every fucking question with a snap, which I can see actually at the time, and I could feel at the time. But they discharged me after 8 weeks and said, yeah, you're fine. So, in my head, I was like, fucking saw a psychiatrist, says I'm sound. Why do I need to go for I ain't got PTSD. Just crack on. But yeah, as a few people have mentioned in here, the military doesn't really fucking prepare you for what comes next. And the fallout from it's insane. And I still I still feel like I've got unfinished business, me. I had to get out because my fucking head fell off. 3 tours in 3 years was too much. Someone shouldn't have let me do 3 tours in 3 years, in my opinion. But I did. And do you know what? I wanted to. You could tell me what was going to happen, send me back to being 23, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm fucking doing it though. No ways around it. Hassan says, I was on the other side. I'm Iraqi and I have PTSD from the war. I can't, at least I got to fucking come home, mate. I can't imagine how fucking awful it's been for anyone, you know, Palestinians and fucking people that are just getting bombed constantly all the fucking time. I can't imagine how any of you survive mentally. I'm sorry if we put you through anything. Were there any ethnic minorities in my battalions? Yes. More than you would think and less than you would think at the same time. And racism is rife in the army. Whether or not they want to admit that or not, the way people speak about other races and stuff is fucking horrendous. And I don't know if that's because people come from a lot of like fucking shitty small towns with no sort of experience of dealing with people of other races and ethnicities and stuff. I grew up in Manchester, in East Manchester, Ashton. Went to college in Ashton, and you know, there's fucking, you know, Chinese, Pakistani, Indian, you know, African and Caribbean, all sorts of different fucking races I was friends with and at college with. So my perspective on race and that is different to I think what a lot of people in the military were serving. So I've always had the experience of having friends of different races, and I think that wasn't the norm in the army. So there was a lot of racism, and I fucking hated it. You know, people would Pakistani Muslims was a big fucking target for, you know, let's be honest, obvious reasons for the military at the time. And the generalizations you would hear used to fucking annoy the fuck out of me. And I'm like, you don't have any Pakistani mates. That's the top and bottom of it. You wouldn't say this if you did. Laptop battery was fully charged tonight. Yes, it was. I don't know if it stutters for anyone. The little preview window I've got, it looks like it's stuttering a little bit. Clawmation says, an idea I have where I live in Canada is to start a football league which is 100% to support men's health. Suicide's high amongst men 35 in Western Canada. That'd be sensational, mate. Good luck with that. Christian says, I'm 21 and in the Telemark battalion in Norway. Is that the Arctic Warfare Specialist, fellas? If war breaks out in Europe, I'll probably be there. I know it's my job, but I'm scared if I'm honest. You're gonna be scared, mate, and you're gonna see your friends die if it goes off. All I would say to you is it's a small round, and just fucking stick to your drills and hope for the fucking best, man. That's all you can do. Saul says, would love to see you talk about this, like the James English podcast. Maybe. William says, do I find myself getting a sense of perspective after what I went through in service, or do I still get wound up by insignificant shit? Both. I'll get wound up by the nonsense, but also go, this ain't shit sometimes. So, you know, both. I've still got a fucking hell of a lot of work to do. I'd lose my temper far too quickly. If I had the chance to do it all again, would I? Tonight. Do you know when during the evacuation, Op-Pitting happened? The evacuation. Janine will tell you this. She's in the fucking comments. She knows. When Op-Pitting happened and they were going bailing out Afghanistan, my head fell off, and I just wanted to be out there. I just wanted to be out there. You think the government's just absolutely thrown away 20 years of work and blood and fucking tears and mental health over fucking nonsense. And we've just pulled out and left the Afghan people to the fucking Taliban. Yeah, it was last year. Yeah, was it September last year? September, October last year. The veteran community did not fucking deal with that well. I didn't deal with that well. It was awful to watch it all unfold. And I tried to get out there. I went and found the Army Director of Communications. Turned out he was my old commanding officer, and I was like, "Hi, how do I get out there? I'll take a fucking camera and just fucking document it. Can I do that?" And he was like, "What? No, you fucking can't do that, you absolute lunatic." If I'd have fucking got away with going out there, I would have, and I think Janine would have royally seen her ass. But I wanted to get out there so fucking bad, so bad. Do I reckon that the government is the reason for the short temper? I don't know. I don't understand enough about what's going on with everything. Like, do I find Remembrance and Bonfire Days actually help and raise awareness for the efforts? No, Bonfire Night and Remembrance are fucking horrendous to deal with. Ginny in the comments here says, as I said to you, I think that was because it was your tour, and I feel like, yeah. Eddie says, I feel like Moyes is the reason for the short temper. And Kiki says, just remember you can be anti-war without being anti-soldier. I'm fucking anti-war. I think most soldiers are anti-war. How do I feel talking about the past? I don't mind, to be honest, and I've enjoyed sharing some of this with you guys tonight, because I know not a lot do. Not a lot know, and it was a fucking massive part of who I am. No, it's one of them, innit? Do I know roughly how popular joining the army is? I think recruitment's on its arse, to be honest. I think there's been such pretty much everybody that I worked with bailed out. The operational tempo was so fucking severe. It was impossible to deal with. It was literally impossible to deal with. Do you know, when I was leaving, the army offered me a job to keep me in. And someone's bright idea was that this was a fucking a good fucking place for us to go with it. And they offered me the chance of being the families liaison officer driver, and that would have meant me driving round and telling people that their fucking sons aren't coming home. And I said, I ain't lasting a day in that job. I could not fucking cope with doing that job. What does this life mean to me? Fucking hell, man, I don't know about that. I don't even know how to begin to answer that. Rather than go back out there, have I ever considered an army position centered on teaching new recruits on experiences and what they can expect? I think this has started to really fucking lag out. Do you know what? The laptop is plugged in, but it's down to 3%. I think that's the fucking sign that it's going to go tits up again. I've just lost that comment notch. Oh, there you go. Rather than go back out there, ever consider an army position centered on teaching new recruits experiences and what to expect and how to prepare? They don't want that. The military doesn't want that. Would I ever let my kids join the army after what I've seen and done myself? Yes, I would. Because there's nothing you could have told me at 18 that would have prevented me from joining. My uncle was in the first Gulf War in 91. And honestly, I was joining. it's who I am at the end of the day. And maybe that's why I've struggled so much following it, because I'm not who I am inside anymore. This YouTube thing, man, what the fuck is this in the grand scheme of things? Like, it's not real, is it? It's I know it's real, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's not real compared to what being a soldier was. And no, like I said, you can identify with a career. Has it gone off? I think it started flickering. I think there's every chance this is going to wig out. Right, I think this is about to die on me, so I'm going to take that as this is going tits up. Cheers for everyone who's been a part of this tonight. I think that's been different to what I expected it to be. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Laters.